that I'm the one that's looking stupid with a big stomach. At some points, I felt like that was true. What's up, guys? This is part 2 of my story. Okay, so this topic will be on based on how I told my parents and how I told the father of my baby. This is a hard topic to talk about, but it's real life. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was so scared. But I didn't tell my parents right away. I kind of gave my mom hints and clues that I might be pregnant, but I wasn't really ashamed of it. I was a little embarrassed. Well, I guess ashamed and embarrassed a little bit. Disappointed, just because I feel like my race is we're really criticized and judged about certain things, and I didn't want to be labeled as that. So that's why I was upset with myself. I started to tell my mom that I have a surprise for her. That's how I started off. And then she's like, "What kind of surprise?" I feel like she knew because I threw up like in front of her. I feel like she knew. But I told her I had a little surprise for her and that my stomach hurts. She made me an appointment and I asked her to go with me. And I was like 17. Like, I think at 15 you stop going inside like the doctor's room with your parents, right? I think 16. But I was 17 and I asked her to come in. And then the doctor asked me when was the last time I had my period. And I told her October. And mind you, this was October, November. This was like in December. No, December. This was like in January. Yeah, in January. Um, Obviously, they make you take a pregnancy test, take your urine. So I did that. And then while we were sitting waiting for the results, I told my mom that I might be pregnant. But I already knew because beforehand I already took the test with my sister. So I already knew I was pregnant, but I was just scared for oh, I was scared to get her reaction. Or I don't know, just scared. But I wasn't I don't know if I can say I was scared. Yeah, I was scared. The doctor comes back in with my result and says that she actually tells my mom to step out. And she tells me that I'm pregnant. And asks me how's like everything at home. What do you think will happen when they find out? Do I have a job? My options, like they went over the options. I feel like I'm sitting in that position again. My mom comes back in. I decide to tell her. No, I tell the doctor to tell her that I'm pregnant. And instantly my mom says she has to pack her bags and find a way to maintain herself and the baby. And this is like no hate to my mom. I love her. She's come around now, but at that moment she was filled with anger, disappointment, like a secondhand embarrassment. And while she was speaking, she was like up from her chair, like she wanted to leave. She didn't want to even drive me home at that point. She's like, she has to find her own way home, whatever, right? I don't remember how I went home that day. She didn't take me home. I went back to school and then I walked home from there because this was like in the morning on a school day. I went home. My dad gets home like around 6 o'clock. I didn't tell him. And I told my mom that I wanted to tell him. But obviously, with her anger and disappointment, when he got home, she told him. My dad didn't say a word. He just came upstairs and just took my phone. That's it. A few weeks after, my dad didn't say anything because his father was here. My mom's mom was here. They were visiting. I guess he didn't want to cause any chaos or, bad energy, I guess. So he waited till they left. And this literally the next day, they left at night. So the next day, he really showed all his emotions. This is awesome. I don't hate them for it. I don't know how I would have reacted as a mom. So I guess I forgive them for everything. Because at the end of the day, it's like they didn't fail me, I failed them. Well, he told me to leave, that I have no right to touch his food. They didn't raise me this way, and that I'm the one that's looking stupid with a big stomach. At some points, I felt like that was true. Yeah, that's how I told them. That's the reaction. But I do want to say that they came around, and this is just me explaining the little, very little details of my story because I feel like there's a lot that I'm not willing to share because I hate reliving it. That's the reaction, and that's how they found out. I told Tyrese through a text message and I believe a picture of my pregnancy test. And the only thing he said that he knew I was pregnant. Therese really wasn't around during my pregnancy. I feel like he wasn't the man I wanted him to be at that point, and I'm glad he's come around and he's still getting it together. And I did get some questions off my Instagram post. Someone asked if I had any symptoms, and I did. Um, I had really bad symptoms that I later developed preeclampsia, which the pregnancy was actually affecting my kidney, my liver, and I've had very high blood pressure, which was actually killing me. I will make a topic on that because I feel like so I will make a topic on that because I'll tell you my story of how I dealt with it. It was like really bad. I obviously had like I was tired. I had really bad, like my boobs were like balloons. Um Smells, I would get every smell. It's terrible. I would be so thirsty, like it's not even funny. Honestly, I would like want to eat so much. I would crave so many different things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll tell you guys my story of preeclampsia because it was one of like, it's like the doctors literally told me that I was at high risk. So I was really scared. There was times where I felt like I couldn't hold my pee. Um, my back ached so much. I had contractions for like 4 months, like April till June. I had contractions because of preeclampsia. So it would always be like they wouldn't really tell me like when I'll be able to give birth, but luckily I gave birth. I was induced, so I gave birth at the end. Like they scheduled me to come in. Well, not really. I went to the it's a long story. I can't even fit it in here. But I went to my appointment and my whole face was swollen, my arms were swollen, my feet were super duper swollen. And it was to the point where my body was giving up on me. So they told me to go to the hospital right away. And luckily, when I was at the hospital, I was 1 centimeter dilated. And from there, I was just induced. And luckily, he came out healthy. And I still have high blood pressure due to it. So I battle with it every day. Sometimes I feel like fainting. Sometimes I feel like too tired. But it's like my blood pressure that's like messing with me. So I'm on medication for it, but I know everything will be fine. So yeah. And someone else asked me, how am I financially stable with a child? So I was working. I do have a savings. Now I'm just focused into summer. I'm just focused on Rain, him going out, him being outside, because I feel like my mom was taking care of him, and it was like tricky to like have her actually watch him, because like it's also always like a constant fight so it was just, for me, it was just more convenient for me to stay home with Rain this summer. So that's what I'm doing. But right now, Teresa's helping out with stuff, stuff that we need. Yeah, he's been good. So yeah, that's how we're solving everything right now. So yeah, I guess this is part 2. If you guys want to know the rest, and preeclampsia, want to know my whole journey, which is gonna be probably a very long video, because I do want to insert photos of everything. So if you guys want that, let me know.